66 million years ago, our planet was hit by an asteroid a full 6 miles wide. It struck with the force of billions of atomic bombs, instantly vaporizing everything at the impact site and triggering a chain reaction of global catastrophe. Imagine the sky turning black as a thick blanket of dust and soot blocked out the sun. Firestorms raged across continents, and a devastating nuclear winter plunged Earth into a deep, deadly freeze. 3/4 of all life vanished. The reign of the dinosaurs, which had lasted for 165 million years, was over in a geological blink of an eye. The world fell silent, a barren stage waiting for a new story to begin. This wasn't just an extinction. It was a total reset. The intricate food webs that had supported giants like Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops collapsed overnight. The world was suddenly empty, a ghost planet. But in the shadows of this devastation, life was quietly holding on. The extinction of the dinosaurs wasn't an end, it was an unprecedented opportunity. The planet's ecological slate had been wiped clean, creating a vast open space for the smallest, most overlooked creatures to step out of the darkness and claim their inheritance. Life's grand narrative was about to start a new chapter, written by the unlikeliest of survivors. So who were these survivors? They weren't the strong, the large, or the dominant. They were the small, the adaptable, the humble. Tiny mammals no bigger than rats had spent millions of years scurrying in the shadows of the dinosaurs. Their secret weapons were simple. They could burrow underground to escape the initial heat blast and subsequent cold. They were often nocturnal, active when larger predators were not. And crucially, they weren't picky eaters. They scavenged on whatever they could find: insects, seeds, roots, and the decaying remains of a dead world. Alongside them were insects, amphibians that could hibernate in mud, and hardy plants whose seeds could withstand fire and frost. These were the pioneers, the biological architects of the world we know today. The first sign of life's return wasn't an animal, but a plant. After the fires died down and the dust began to settle, a green fuzz started to carpet the scorched, gray landscape. These were ferns. In what is now known as the fern spike, these incredibly resilient plants were the first to recolonize the barren soil. Their spores could travel vast distances on the wind and germinate in the nutrient-rich ash. As they grew, their roots stabilized the loose soil, preventing further erosion. They created the first new microhabitats, offering shelter and food for insects and other small creatures. Slowly, painstakingly, other hardy plants followed, and the long, slow process of rebuilding forests began. Each new leaf was a step toward transforming the planet's atmosphere and bringing the climate back from the brink. With the world's apex predators gone, a power vacuum was created. And mammals, for the first time in their evolutionary history, stepped into the spotlight. Freed from the constant threat of being eaten, they began to diversify at an explosive rate. It was a grand evolutionary experiment. They grew larger, evolving into new forms to fill the empty ecological niches. Some became herbivores, developing specialized teeth to grind tough plants. Others became carnivores, learning to hunt the new generation of herbivores. Their brains grew more complex, their senses sharpened, and their limbs adapted for running, climbing, and swimming. From those small, shrew-like ancestors emerged the lineages that would eventually lead to wolves, whales, horses, and of course, primates. The age of mammals had begun. As plants and animals reclaimed the planet, they started weaving a new web of life. Insects, which had survived the apocalypse with relative ease, flourished in the recovering world. They provided a crucial protein-rich food source for the diversifying birds and mammals. In turn, these animals helped the plants. New flowering plants evolved, offering nectar and fruit to attract pollinators and seed dispersers. A beautiful symbiotic dance began. Birds carried seeds to new continents, mammals fertilized the soil, and insects pollinated flowers, ensuring the spread of new plant species. Entirely new ecosystems, like grasslands and tropical rainforests, emerged from the ashes. Life wasn't just recovering. It was reinventing itself into something more complex and interconnected than ever before. But wait, what about the dinosaurs? Weren't they all wiped out? Not quite. One group of dinosaurs did survive: the birds. We often forget that birds are avian dinosaurs, the direct descendants of feathered theropods like Velociraptor. While their larger ground-dwelling relatives perished, many smaller beaked birds managed to pull through. In the post-impact world, they diversified with incredible speed, filling the skies once ruled by pterosaurs. They became master seed dispersers, helping forests regrow. They became crucial pollinators, shaping the evolution of flowering plants. They were, and still are, living dinosaurs, a vibrant and noisy reminder of the world that was lost and the resilience of life. The planet itself was changing too. After the initial impact winter, as the dust finally settled out of the atmosphere, the sun's warmth returned. But now, with a renewed greenhouse effect from volcanic activity and recovering life, the global climate began to warm significantly. This ushered in a long period of warm, humid conditions, known as the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum. Vast, lush rainforests spread across the continents, even reaching the poles. This warm, stable climate was an evolutionary accelerator, driving the rapid diversification of plants, insects, and mammals. It was in this global hothouse that the next major chapter of our own story was about to unfold. Deep within these new, sprawling rainforests, a new kind of mammal appeared. They were small, tree-dwelling creatures who had evolved a game-changing set of traits: grasping hands and feet, perfect for navigating the complex, three-dimensional world of the forest canopy. They also had forward-facing eyes, giving them stereoscopic vision and incredible depth perception. Their brains were growing larger and more complex. These were the first primates. In a world full of powerful runners and fierce hunters, their advantage was intelligence and agility. While they were a minor part of the ecosystem at the time, their emergence was a quiet but profound moment in Earth's history, the distant, humble beginning of the lineage that would one day lead to us. The story of life's recovery after the meteor is one of the most powerful tales our planet has to tell. It teaches us that mass extinction is not just an ending. It's a creative force, a violent clearing of the slate that allows for new beginnings. Resilience, it turns out, isn't about strength or dominance, but about adaptability and seizing opportunity. The small, the clever, and the lucky are the ones who inherit the Earth. Every single living thing on this planet today, from the smallest ant to the largest whale, and that includes you, is a descendant of a survivor. We all carry the legacy of that darkest hour and the incredible rebirth that followed. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through Earth's greatest comeback story. If this kind of exploration into our planet's deep past fascinates you, we'd be honored if you'd join our community of curious minds. By subscribing, you help us create more content just like this. And if you enjoyed this video, hitting that like button is like planting a seed for our channel. It helps us grow and reach more people. So please subscribe and like, and we'll see you in the next chapter of life's amazing story. Thanks for watching.